Hey, my name is Walt Lang. Everybody calls me Gator. I just want to comment on the kids being separated from their parents that everybody's making all the hoopla about. I'm going to put this in perspective so that, first, let me say I used to be really liberal, but I'm so sick of the liberals over the top anymore. I mean, if you're white, you're a racist. You're not entitled to an opinion. People are just so, I want to say, pussified by the way they act anymore. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, let's get back on track. Um, so I'm a Mexican guy. I have my wife and I have my 4 small children, and I sneak in the United States and I get caught. And so when they catch me, it's illegal anywhere in the United States to put kids in jail with their parents in any kind of detention center. So the kids are taken in protective custody. The parents, if released, will get a hearing date. And most of the time they get a hearing date. They just don't throw them out of the country for no reason. And so anyway, they get a hearing date, and they want to stay in the United States, and they're in fear of going to this hearing date because if they go to the hearing date, they're going to probably get sent back to Mexico. So the majority of them, I would say 60 or 65% from what the last I saw was, will just disappear. They won't show up. So then these kids are stuck without family. So we got all these little kids, and so we have to place them somewhere. Now, the Obama administration lost 65%. And I mean, I don't care what you guys want to say. I've done the numbers. They lost 65% of all the kids they placed. There were stories of kids being sold into slavery, all different kinds of nightmares. Okay, the things that were happening back then doesn't seem to bother the liberals, but now all of a sudden, the same thing is happening under Trump, and it's all Trump's fault. Okay, let's put it in perspective for you another way that maybe a snowflake can, figure out. Okay, so let's say that you're driving down the road and you got, let's say, a half a pound of cocaine in your trunk, and you've got 5 or 6 kids in your back seat. You got a big family, like most Hispanic people do. Nothing personal. They don't believe in contraceptive or anything like that, so most of them have a lot of kids. So anyway, you get pulled over by the police, and they arrest you. They're not going to put your kids in an adult jail. They're going to take your kids, more than likely, into protective services, which is, key word is here, protective. They protect the children. It doesn't matter if the kids are Hispanic, black, white, red, green, purple, aliens from the moon. They would take them in protective custody. Okay, so let's say that you get out on bond and you don't go back to court and you run. Guess what? They will keep your kids in protective custody. They're not separating you from your kids. You separated yourself from your kids, which is exactly what's happening today. This is why all these kids are trapped where they are, is because their worthless parents came across the border and deserted them. So you can blame that on anybody you want, but it's the parents' fault. It wasn't Trump's fault. It sure heck wasn't Obama's fault. It wasn't Clinton's fault. This is the way our society is set up. We have protective child services, which most of the time they go way overboard. I mean, you've seen it with other people's kids, and then sometimes they don't do nothing at all when a crack mother is raising her kid and smoking crack right in front of them, and they keep giving the kid back. So, yeah, our society is really screwed up, but I am just thoroughly sick and tired of everything that happened on the liberal watch that's happening now, all of a sudden being Trump's fault. I don't like Trump either. I think he's a disgrace. I'm not going to call him a liar because all the presidents lied all the way down the line. They're all liars, every one of them. Our Congress is no better. So, I mean, all this argument, oh, he's a liar. Well, you know what? So was Hillary. So was Bill. I mean, look at Kennedy's. Come on, really? You're going to call Trump a bigger liar than all those people? So, yeah, any of you who think Trump is that bad, he's a womanizer. So was Kennedy. Bill Clinton was getting blowjobs under his desk, for Christ's sake. But that was okay because he's a liberal, because he's a Democrat. Heaven forbid that we would have a Republican act that way. This is Walt Lang, and I'm out.